Welcome back. As we continue on this exposure on some of the ways in which God speaks to us, I hope you are really getting stirred up, and also that these different areas that I point out now are creating an awareness in both your mind and your heart so that you recognize and realize that God is always speaking and that you can hear his voice. And actually, you may also be provoked to recognize that, be, before now, you've actually been hearing God's voice, and some of the steps that you have taken were as a result of you having this genuine conviction that it was God's voice, and you were right. You were right all this while. So, want to go to another way that God speaks to us is through dreams. Oh, yes. Now, let me say there are different kinds of dreams. The first of these is what we call revelational dreams, and this is what I'm referring to when I say God speaks to us through dreams. A revelational dream is a dream that give you in-depth details of what you see throughout the process so that when you get up, you are still able to remember this dream. This is what we call revelational dream. Now, we also have what we call common dreams, and also what we call prophetic dreams, and then there are also what we will also call dreams that gives you warnings, and dreams that gives you specific indication of action that need to be taken. You can call these dreams action dreams. Why? Because those dreams are not just revelational or prophetic, they are dreams that call you to act, like right now. And those dreams are such like Joseph and Mary. Remember when Herod welcomed the wise men? This is in regard to the birth of Jesus. When Herod welcomed the wise men, he said to them, "Go and find the baby, worship the baby, and when you're done, please come back to me, and I will also go and worship the baby." You and I know that that's not what Herod intended to do. He intended to kill Jesus, and which he will carry out the same act on children. Notice what the angel of the Lord did to both the wise men and Joseph. To the wise men, the angel of the Lord said to them, "Don't go back to Herod." And that was an action to be taken, not to ponder and reflect and pray to see how to really apply what this actually meant. No, this is an action. You cannot go to Herod, and that's it. Another example of action dream, we'll talk more details on this, and you will have it available on my YouTube channel. But another action dream is when the angel of the Lord came to Joseph and said, "Take Mary and the baby and flee to Egypt, because Herod is going to seek to kill this child." Now, listen, the Bible says Joseph got up that same night, took Mary, and they were gone. He took Mary and the baby, and they were going to Egypt. Now, this was not Joseph, he took a week to fast and pray and then reflect and really soak it in and consult with some spiritual leaders. And no, he had to take an action. And don't worry, the question you might be having is, but how do I know I need to take an action? And how do I know I don't have to take an action? And what if I take the wrong action and not knowing the right action? We're going to deal with that. And I guarantee you, when God gives you an action-oriented dream, there is no way you're going to take the wrong action. I guarantee that. And we are going to walk through that, and you're going to have the teaching available on my YouTube channel. The great news is this, friend. Because it is God speaking, He guarantees what He is telling you and walks you and help you understand what He is communicating so that you are not left in a limbo. we have to always recognize that these ways that God expresses Himself are never mysterious, so that we have to really work so hard to try to identify if that was God or if that was just us. And for us to do this, we need to understand God's character and nature. And that is what I consider the most fundamental ways of laying the foundation to recognize what God's voice is and what God's voice is not. And this we're going to have available in our series on my YouTube channel, Global Bible Addiction. So subscribe and you will have all of this available to you. Some of the other ways that God speaks to us is that God speaks to us through vision. Yep. That is one of the most vivid and most experiential thing that you will find common among believers, even non-believers. It's incredible how God is so it looks like God gets so stoked about revealing Himself to you, revealing Himself to people, that He gives people visions. He gives people revelations about what He wants them to be aware of. Now, what are visions? And we will go in depth in this. But a quick understanding about vision. Vision is a clear picture that God will give you regarding something about your life, future, or a new idea He wants you to undertake. And so visions come in different categories. One of those categories is that you could be on a broad daylight and see a picture, a vivid picture. Most people have received incredible visions from God. And because of the lack of understanding of this is one of the way God speaks, they completely ignore it. And you will hear people literally saying to you, a while back I actually saw something like this. Like, clearly, I can even draw it out for you. Friends, it's going to blow your mind when you recognize that this is some of the ways that God speaks to you. And here's a small secret. Keep it. To each and every one of us, God has a specific way He speaks that you will understand more clearly. So you're going to notice that as I go through some of the ways in which God speaks to us, not all might be identical to some of your experience. Some of them might just open up your awareness, but some of them you're going to hear and say, that makes sense. Why? Because that's how, as a loving Father, He wants to communicate to you in the way that you understand, not in the way you have to struggle to understand. Now, I have 4 children. It takes a sound for them to identify that's daddy. They don't have to try to decode if that's their dad or someone else. I have specific sounds that I make to them. And because of this familiarity, if I just make that sound and hide, they go crazy. They start looking. They run out to start checking. Where is he? Because they know that's our daddy's sound. It's the same way with God. So vision is this, sometimes you have this vivid picture right there before you that you can't run away from it. It's like, am I going crazy or what? What is going on? And we're going to talk about that. Sometimes people think I'm going crazy. And sometimes it could be an image imprinted in your mind. So it's not visual that you can see outside, but it's imprinted in your mind. And you can't get it out. And you're going like, please, what is going on with me? I don't know. Maybe something is wrong with me. But it's right there. God is speaking to you. And sometimes people have crafted out, like artists, a painting or a drawing or a sound, a melody for musicians that they suddenly could see it or hear it. Now, there's a difference between God speaking to us through vision and trance. And we're going to talk about this in great detail, and it will all be available for you on my YouTube channel, Global Bible Addiction. So don't worry, don't feel like, oh, this is too much. I don't know if I can understand everything. We're going to walk through it detail, step by step. And as I said, this is simple Bible course. This is not a study that has to be complex, challenging, or make you go like, I give up. You're going to be so fired up. I guarantee you, if you've watched all the series up to now, I can already tell that your heart is yearning for more, and you're going to have it. So continue watching, and we are going to be joining again on the next series.